Good night, everybody. Good night, good night, good night. It is Wednesday, Wednesday. It is May 12th. Oh my goodness. The middle. We are in the middle of May. What happened? How did we get to May the 12th? I'm just wondering, people. How did we get to May 12th? How are you doing this evening? Of course, I got a little songs of Calabash playing in the background. We got to have some Caribbean jazz. Woo! Come on in, come on in. Well, I hope you're ready tonight. I'm going to start the show whether you're here or not. And if you miss anything, you're just going to have to catch the replay. I want to make sure and get in as much as I can tonight. It is Wellness Wednesday. And of course, in the background, I got to have me a little Calabash. Calabash is a band based here in Toronto. Go get the CD Kalabash, Caribbean Jazz, where the steel pan is the focal point instrument. Guess what? I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. Don't get jealous. I know we're the island in the sun. That's us. And so I just love to play some music inspired by the island itself. So now go get comfy. Hope you have your drink ready. You know, Even though it's still sunny outside, it's going to get a little darker soon. You might want to grab your candle, but for sure, you want to have a notebook tonight because we're going to have some wisdom keys and we're going to have some really good information that is going to be geared for your health and wellness. So let's go. Welcome to the Victory Speak Show. It's the Wellness Series, and I am your host, Nicole Waldron, your voice of victory and your mental fitness coach. And I am on a mission to inspire you to live a life of victory, a victorious lifestyle. That's what we're going to do together. You see, we all need to cultivate that victory mindset as we mind our mind. You know, I have many conversations all the time, just like you have conversations all the time. And I know they're inspiring. Whether, it's somebody I've just met along the way, whether it is somebody I've worked with, somebody, you know, that has been in my life for a long time, I always find something that I can take from a conversation. This week, I had a really great inspired conversation with one of my besties, actually Coco, and AKA Nicole. And, she was inspiring me and we're like, yep, this is why I do what I do. So on this Wellness Wednesday, we're going to continue the journey to improve, enhance our physical and our mental health. And, we have to make some intentional choices to do it. We can't just wish it away, even though sometimes I just wish I could be totally healthy and it will just happen. I could just sit in this chair and somebody just come and say, hey, bam, it's done. But no, that's not reality. That's not how it works. So we have to recognize that our body responds to our daily behavior and habits. And when we start exhibiting pain or discomfort in our muscles and our joints, it's a sign that something is off kilter. Tonight, I have the person, one who seeks to change us in a great way to live a more enhanced life, live a life that is so significant and prosperous in our health and wellness. And when we're good in our physical health, our mental health is also affected. And I am so happy that you are taking the time to join us for this significant conversation where we make our wellness our priority. Just like it's springtime, what a better time for a wellness reset. It's also a time when I say, as you do spring cleaning in your house, it's time to do some spring cleaning in your life. So let's get started. My guest tonight is Dr. Nekessa S. Remy. She is a leading health and wellness professional, an expert with a passion for injury prevention and enabling others to their own health champions. Her philosophy stems from her belief that healthy living is a right and not a privilege. How often have you ever heard that? You really don't hear that. Now, through her blogs, seminars, and media appearances, Dr. Remy uses her knowledge and experience to educate others on how to become their own health advocates. She is the founder of Mississauga's award-winning multidisciplinary clinic, the Chiropractic Office and Health Associates, which has been serving the community for over 10 years. Nekessa is also the creator of the Better Posture Program, an online course geared towards helping people take control of their posture. Do you see me shifting in my chair? She has worked with professional and Olympic athletes and lectured at large corporations such as Nissan Canada and Scotiabank. Over the last few years, she has become a sought after health and wellness expert for various media outlets, including, and I'm sure you've seen her on there, CP24, CTV News, Breakfast Television, and Global Morning. Okay, people, do what we do well at Victory. Welcome to the Victory Chair, Dr. Nekessa Remy to the Victory Chair. Woo! We're gonna get right in here. Yeah,
Yes, we are. Yes,
that's the
we
crowd. That's
are.
the crowd. They're listening in. They're listening in. They're jealous they're not right on the stage with us, but that's okay. That's okay. Welcome, everybody, to the Victory Speak Show. And Dr. Nekessa, it is so good to see you here. Serena is already online saying hi. Hi, Serena.
Hello,
Serena is streaming in
hello.
from the US.
Oh, wow.
She is a regular, and she has been a
Wow.
guest on the Victory Speak Show. She's going to be coming up again soon. We're going to be talking about Lyme disease, so be sure to tune into
Ooh,
that.
that's a good
So
one.
I'm going to throw a good question at you today, Dr. Nekessa, as we start.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, we're going in deep. So, what does victory in life look like to?
Well, I think for me, my definition of victory has changed over the last 19 months because I have a 19-month-old who is hopefully fast asleep upstairs.
Okay.
But for me, victory right now really is just about finding that harmony between being a mother and kind of running a business. When I had my daughter, I thought, you know what? I feel like my business might take a back seat because I'm going to be so focused on her. But what I learned is my business and my passion for helping others is almost as important. Like she doesn't complete me. It's like I need her, but I also need my business to be working, right? And so for me, victory really is finding that balance. Or I hate that word balance. I should say more harmony. You know, there's ebbs and flows. But yeah, it's really about just getting those two aspects of my life working together.
I like that, the balance. Look at it. Joan Pierre's already in here. Good to see you. Dr. Remy listening in closely. Serena was at the Wellness Revolution and she heard you. You rock. She says, I'm sitting up straighter and I'm making changes. Listen here. You know my computer is lifted up by a book or two right tonight, right?
Yes, as it should be. As it should be.
I lowered my chair and I'm sitting up and I'm like, okay, I got to get my act together here.
I know. I'm trying not to look at your posture, but I am.
You know, that's okay. You can counsel me anytime, girl. So tell me about a victory moment in your life.
A victory moment from a recent one, actually, and I know we'll probably touch on the pandemic a little bit, but a victory moment for me was kind of pivoting my practice so that we were still able to service our community. And, you know, we were shut down for a while. People were hesitant to come in, which of course is understandable, but people were still in pain. So I kind of had to figure out, how do I reach my community? How do I service my patients, but in this new environment?
Right.
And so launching an online kind of program really was a huge victory for me because it allowed me to still be able to do what I love. And I was able to, I mean, it took a lot of work, but I'm very happy with the product because I am able to reach patients. Right. And I'm also able to reach people who might not necessarily be in the city, but are elsewhere and need help. Like I'm able to help them too. So I think for me, a real victory was, just pivoting my practice and figuring out how I can continue to help people in this new environment.
I love that because just listening to you, even listening to your Instagram post, it really starts you thinking, and you know, seeing the clips of you on TV has really been inspiring, and it's such a reminder when we're all at home and we're doing this kind of stuff, you know.
And I think It's a problem. People are sitting so much right now.
Oh,
Where else can we go? We can't go anywhere,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So we're stuck sitting at home. And for people working from home, we don't always have the proper desk, the proper chair.
yeah.
So my practice is actually busier now than it was before because so many people are sitting. So the average Canadian, I think, used to sit for like 11 hours. That number has gone up to 13.
Wow.
And I know it's probably higher now that we're at this stay-at-home order. And, you know, we're not designed to be sitting. We are humans who were designed to go out and hunt our food and do things like that. We're not supposed to be sitting hunched
Sitting like,
over at a computer. Right?
and then
Right?
holding a cell phone like this,
Yes,
and you wake up in the
exactly.
morning and like, oh, you're not even out of bed, and you got
No,
like
no,
that,
people
like,
are
yeah,
in bed with their cell phones and their iPads and all that stuff. And so people are really hurting. And it's just so interesting to me that, you know, I talk about posture every day
yeah,
because everyone is coming in complaining of my back hurts, my neck hurts, blah, 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 all because I'm sitting too much. And yeah, it's been a really interesting year trying to
yeah,
kind of figure out ways that I can address this new pandemic
yeah,
within a pandemic,
yeah,
kind of,
yeah, yeah.
which is interesting to say.
It's so interesting because I recognize, like, I mean, I know for my own self, I have grown up with back problems. So with the
Hmm.
pandemic, it's exacerbated, like the shoulder, the neck, the hips. But we're gonna get there. I think I
Yes.
think first we gotta go like, um, let's explain to people what is a chiropractor. Like, what
Yeah.
the heck is a chiropractor? Because when I think about a physiotherapist and a sports therapist and a therapist, who are you? What the heck do you
Yes.
do?
Thank you for asking because there are so many myths about like what chiropractors do. And I also think it's important to note that the chiropractic profession has really changed over the last maybe 10 or so years. Whereas before we were really focused just on kind of, you know, adjusting the spine, working necks and backs, we've really shifted to a more holistic approach. So, for example, I do a lot of similar things that a physiotherapist would do. I have patients with ankle sprains. I have patients with headaches and rotator cuff injuries. So, pretty much as a chiropractor, I'm able to treat any joint issue in the body, muscle issue, and nerve issue. So, I'm kind of an expert when it comes to muscles, joints, and nerves. And we use a approach where, you know, we do a lot of hands-on stuff, but we also do active stuff. And we
Mhm.
also give people exercises. We talk about ergonomics, posture. So we kind of are taking this more holistic approach and treating the individual as a whole, as opposed to just a neck pain or a back pain issue.
I love that. And because,
Yeah.
I never really thought of a chiropractor dealing with the nerve issues.
Yes. Yes.
The
Yes.
nerve, that's deep.
Sciatica, carpal tunnel. Like those are all headaches can also be. Yes. Yes. Headaches can also be a nerve issue. So chiropractors do work a lot with that. And I think people a lot of people don't know that. And I think it's really, I'm glad I'm giving a platform like this where I can really spread the word about what we do as chiropractors.
I'm going to jump ahead of myself in a little thing right here because what's coming to me, I remember a friend saying to me that her child was having a lot of headaches. And so I was
Mm.
thinking about the vision. But now that
Yeah.
I'm thinking and adding chiropractic and the sitting, what are you
Yes.
noticing in the pandemic with children that is coming up?
Oh, it's I'm so glad you just asked me that. I was just saying a couple weeks ago, and again, maybe a couple days ago, I've never had so many kids in my practice. I've been a chiropractor for 14 years. I have never had this many kids in my practice. And a
Right.
lot of it is because they're sitting. So headaches are quite common. First of all, the
Mhm.
screen itself, right? The glare of the screen, the light of the screen, that can cause headaches by creating fatigue in the eyes, right? So looking at, you know, taking breaks or blue screens, things like that, that you can help to kind of monitor the
Right.
glare and things like that are really helpful. But yeah, kids are coming in with headaches. Kids are coming in with neck pain and back pain because I know there's a lot of kids and parents pay attention if your kids are working or doing school from home and they're sitting on their beds. No, no, no. They need to be at a desk. They need to have their feet supported on the floor. They need to make sure that they've got a good chair. So kids are flexible, yes, and they heal quickly, but our kids have never been sitting this much, right? So we have to make sure we're addressing their needs as well. And it's a lot of the stuff is similar to adults. It's just, kids may not complain as much, but we have to make sure that kids' posture is being addressed, because these are habits that they need to start now, making sure that they know what good posture really is.
So, what can we do to do with our kids in changing, like, how their computers are positioned? What are some of the
Yeah,
tips that we can use? Let's see with the children as we're talking about them now. What could we do for our kids as they're doing their
right.
stuff?
And when I'm giving tips, I'm never talking about like going out there and buying like a
Right.
$5,000 desk, because who has that kind of money? But one thing you want to make sure of is if your kid is working from a laptop, like we kind of discussed before, raising the laptop.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I would invest in, especially because so many people are using laptops as
Right.
opposed to desktops, is the wireless keyboards,
Right.
because that will allow, kids to keep their elbows bent 90 degrees while they raise the laptop screen. So you've got textbooks, a basket, whatever you can find. You
Right.
want to raise the laptop so the top of the screen is like at this level, eyebrow level.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
so like I almost have to raise my screen up a little more. Okay, go ahead.
I'm glad you're checking though. I'm glad
Okay.
you're
Okay.
checking.
Okay.
So yeah, so you want the top of your screen to be eyebrow level. Okay,
Okay.
that's number one. The other thing you want to do is, again, if you're working from a laptop, and I guess a desktop too,
Right.
you want to tilt the screen
Okay.
slightly so the top of the screen is slightly away from you. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yes.
Because that's going to help reduce glare, which will
Okay.
help to prevent eye fatigue and headaches.
Okay.
Okay. And also, as I mentioned before, elbows should be 90 degrees. If you have a chair, hopefully it has armrests so your
Yes.
forearms can rest on there, because that's really important, because forearm fatigue, mousing elbow is a real issue. Okay. So you want
Mousing,
to mousing elbow.
mousing
Yes,
elbow.
yes, it's real. So back in the day, people used to talk about getting tennis elbow. No, 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 it's mousing elbow, because that's what's really causing the pain. It's the constant clicking of the mouse, and the muscle runs up here, attaches to the elbow, and gets tired. And then you get elbow
Okay.
pain. Yes. So
Okay. We're learning
elbows
tonight.
90 degrees. I know, I'm gonna go on.
Good.
So, so yes, elbows need to be bent 90 degrees and supported, hopefully on an armrest, if not the desk
Okay.
itself.
So not
Under
45, 90. Okay.
90,
Okay.
90, 90.
Okay.
And you want to make sure your wrists are fairly neutral. Like, you don't want to be typing here. You don't want to be typing up here. You want the wrist fairly neutral. One
Okay.
thing that I think everyone should have at their desk is a small towel. Okay. There's so many things you can do with a towel. One thing that I like to do, if you don't have like the wrist guards on your keyboard, just take the towel, roll it up, and rest your hands on it. So the towel rests right here.
Okay.
Okay. So you've got a little cushioning. That's going to help with carpal tunnel. now, working my way down.
Yes.
Kids, oftentimes it's hard to find ergonomic chairs like that are sized for kids. So they're often using adult sized chairs. That's okay. Grab your pillows, grab your sweaters, place it in the small of the back, because that needs to be supported as well. Okay. So you can just roll it up, tuck it behind there, and use that.
And I'm doing everything wrong. Go ahead.
That's why I'm here tonight. That is why I'm here.
Oh my God.
And the last thing I'll say, and we talked about this, you and I at a previous event, is the importance of having your kids' feet supported. Okay.
Yes.
You don't want their feet dangling. So grab. I have for my niece, we have a laundry basket. We just flip it over, and she puts her feet on the laundry basket. We use what we got. Amazon boxes. I've got tons of Amazon boxes here. Use those as a footrest.
Cover it with a piece of fabric and make it look pretty. Come on.
Exactly.
Get a glue gun.
Exactly. These don't have to be expensive things. You don't have to
Yeah,
invest a lot of money in these things, especially with kids because they're growing and things are going to
yeah.
change. But you do want to make sure that you're starting them on the right track to understanding what good sitting posture looks like and feels like. Very important.
So if you are listening and you are gleaning and you know anybody, which is everybody, you need to share this live right now because this is going to help somebody tonight, in the
Yes.
morning, and the days and
Yes.
weeks to come. So I'm going to share some of the
Mhm.
amazing comments we have here. So this is Serena. And Serena went to the Wellness Revolution. I have moved things around in my apartment. Look at my cell phone differently, and I put something under my son's feet so they aren't dangling when he's in a virtual school. You helped us make some great shifts.
Mm.
See, that's
Mm.
happening. Mahindi is after many months of working from home, sitting at multiple computers, I developed pain in my lower back. It was painful to stand for long periods of time, but now I do back and core exercises every other day. That has brought me
Yes.
a great deal of relief. And I think we need to address that
Yes.
lower back pain when I'm
Yes.
done this one here.
Oh,
Oh, look
I
at
love
Joan.
it.
Joan says, right now I'm adjusting like crazy.
That's my victory. That's my victory.
Serena's like, my son uses a pillow for the small of his back too.
Yes.
Thanks to you, Dr. M. He must have thought I was a mad woman after the wellness revolution 2 weeks ago. I'm like, you're like, everybody was making changes. Okay, um, so we have the cell phone, the back. Okay, so let's deal with the lower back because Mahindi's a
Yes.
teacher. And so he's at his
Uh-huh.
desk a lot. And then he also has kids that, so what can teachers do as they're sitting and they're teaching and they're moving
Hmm.
and sometimes they're using two screens because I remember you talked about when you have the
Yes.
two screens. So
Uh-huh.
let's get into, hold on. Yes, yes, we're hitting magic now. We're hitting magic now. Okay, so we talk about so let's do the lower back and then
Okay.
let's do the two screen thingies. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So let's talk about prevention first for low back.
Okay.
Okay. Because it's important to note that when we're sitting puts more pressure on your lower spine than standing. Okay.
Okay.
So that's important to note. So one thing I try to get all my patients doing is alternating between sitting and standing.
Okay.
Okay. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to go out there and buy a standing desk. There are lots of things that you can do. And this is good if you're able to, again, if you have a laptop that you're able to move throughout your
Yeah.
home. So let's say you start the morning at your desk, you sit for maybe 2-3 hours, then you take your laptop to a bar counter if you have one, or if you don't, an ironing board. If you don't,
An
again,
ironing board.
ironing
Come on
board.
now.
Yes, things around your house. Yes, we have to be creative here. Or if you don't have an ironing board, again, I do this. This laundry basket comes in handy.
Yeah.
I flip the laundry basket, put it on my desk, my laptop goes up, and now I can stand for an hour, maybe two. So
That's
it's
inventive.
really, really, yes, there's lots of things you can find around your house to create a standing desk if you don't have the money to invest in one because they're quite pricey.
Yeah, they are.
So that's important to note before the back pain starts, because research has shown that alternating between sitting and standing does alleviate pain. So it's better to do that. And I don't think you should sit all day. I don't think you should stand all day. Alternate. Okay, so that's one. Now, if you are getting a lot of back pain when you're sitting, and the thing too to keep in mind, after sitting for 50 minutes, so 50,
Mm-hmm.
what happens is the spine, our spine has like cushions in between each of the little bones or the vertebrae. After 50 minutes, those cushions tend to kind of shrink a little bit. They decrease in size, which means that creep or compression starts. So we have to be getting up every hour. So if you feel even a little bit of stiffness in your low back, set a timer on your phone, on your computer, whatever you have to do, and every hour get up. And I don't mean you got to get up for like 10, 15 minutes. Maybe you just get up for 30 seconds. You grab some water or you go to the washroom or whatever you can, but set the timer to remind yourself to get up.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in a meeting, maybe it might be a little challenging to get up, but you can do a lot of stretches sitting for your spine. Okay. So one that I like, which it's hard to demonstrate now, but you just take one leg, you bring one foot and place it on top of your knee. It's like a figure four, they call it.
Okay.
Right. And then you just lean forward as you cross that leg over. And that's stretching out your low back and your glute. I'm doing it right now and I'm still working. I'm still talking to you and I'm doing some stretches. For more movement, you can look at rotation, grabbing the back of your chair, rotating, and then doing the same thing on the other side. So the thing to understand too is your body craves movement, right? Like that's what we're designed to move. The body craves movement. So even if you can't get up every hour, consider moving in the chair. Another thing that you can also look at, sorry, I'm going to go on, is if you have a fitness ball, okay, you may want to switch out your chair from time to time. Maybe spend half an hour on the fitness ball as opposed to the chair.
Now you want me to balance without falling? Okay.
Yes, I do. And I know you can do it. And you just said it. It makes you balance. And what does balancing do? Works your core muscles, right? And you want to move. And I think for kids too, of a certain age, getting them to alternate maybe between a balance, a ball, or even like a stool, like something that challenges their balance and their core a little bit is not a bad idea either. Depending obviously on the age of your child, but that works for us too. Switch your chair around. Try something that, it's going to activate your core a little bit. And then the other thing to do for back pain, and we talked a little bit about it, is making sure you've got the right support. So if your chair doesn't have, and you should not be using a dining room chair. Oh, no.
Yes.
But let's say that's all you have. Okay. Grab those pillows, and you may need 2 pillows, because what you can do is you'll put one vertically, so that just acts as a full spine kind of cushioning. And then you take a smaller pillow or even like a towel, roll that up and put it in the small of your back. So you've got one pillow that just rests against the back of the chair, and then a towel or a small pillow rolled up and in the arch of the back. I hope that all makes sense. I
feel like, I feel like we need Dr. Nekessa Remy slip covers for your pillow. Okay. Slip covers for your towels. Okay. Product line. Okay. Product break.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
And it will be my face too. Just
yes. I tell you, we have not been drinking tonight. We weren't drinking much really before we came on the show. We were having a good time, but yeah.
I want people to see my face, and when they see it, they know to get up. This face is get up. That's what I need to create.
Thank God you're my friend. I tell you, I love you. I love you. I know this is so great. And look at that. Joan even said her daughter uses the ball. She's already using the ball. My daughter sits on the ball all day doing her work.
Absolutely.
See, Serena likes the idea, right? Slip covers with her face on.
Thank you, Serena. Thank you. You'll be my test model. I'm going to send you them first.
Now, you said about, the chair and the office and thing. So don't laugh at me, but I know you will. So sometimes I use my bed office. I create my bed into the bed office. And I have this little lap.
It hurts, but keep going.
I know. I have the little lab desk.
Yes.
And it actually has the cushion in the front. Yes. And it's at an angle. And then I create the pillows at my back. And sometimes it's actually more comfortable than this doggone office chair I'm sitting in. So, but I guess you would tell me no to the bed office.
Not ideal, because your feet are going to be straight, right? They're not going to be bent. That can be an issue.
What about if I put pillows under my feet?
The problem is the issue with circulation.
Okay, fine.
So I know, I feel like I'm such a Debbie Downer. But yeah, the issue can be sometimes with circulation, being in that position for a long time. So, I mean, hey, if you're returning an email or, I don't know, sending a quick text, by all means. But should you be working in that position for hours at a time, no, no,
Because
no.
so many people are doing that. They're sitting in their
Yes,
bed
yes,
with their laptops. Now, if and I
yeah.
think, like, you're going to do something in bed, like you're reading and stuff.
Mhm.
Let's be honest, people are doing stuff in their bed. What
Yes.
can, and you see my friends are on here. I shouldn't tell these people my business. Like, they're like, don't call Nicole before 10 a.m. No. Nicole is trying to
Oh,
sell her bed office.
no buyers, no buyers.
No buyers, jump here. Nicole, it won't work. Get your feet on the ground. Oh
Oh my
Lord,
goodness.
this
Oh
is
my
the best
goodness.
interview yet. Sarita, I used to love sitting on my
Yeah.
couch and work on my laptop until the wellness
Yes.
revolution. You see,
I know.
people are listening to you, Nekessa.
That and
They're
this
really
makes me
listening to you,
happy.
and
This makes me
it
happy.
speaks to it because when you sit there and you're thinking about, I'm thinking about the neck pain,
Yes.
the hip pain and stuff. So we're sitting down for hours. Our lower back is hurting us. What could we do for that lower back pain that starts to creep up on us? And especially as we're maturing in age.
Yes. So again, you want to get up. The minute you start to feel a little stiffness, get up. And the one thing I'll say about getting up, even getting up from your chair is important, like how you get up. So what
Oh,
I always, yes, because we have a tendency to kind of bend forward and then straighten ourselves
yeah.
up, right? No. What you want to do is you want to shimmy to the front edge of your chair, okay? Make sure your feet are flat on the ground. Then you're going to take your hands just behind your
Oh,
butt
and
and push
yourself up.
yes. So
Okay.
you're going straight up. You want to avoid this kind of down and then back up that people do when they're getting up from a
Like you're a
chair.
snake. Like you think like you have, yes,
Yeah.
and you're not a snake.
No,
Yeah.
and it's funny, like this is something I learned treating pregnant women actually, because pregnant women can't bend forward when they're pregnant. They got to really think about going straight up. But it works if you have back pain too, because the minute you go forward, that's
Right.
more compression on the spine. Okay,
Right.
your back is not going to like that. So
Right.
shimmy forward, use your hands, and push yourself straight up to help prevent some of that compression on the low back.
Okay. Okay. That is really good. So we're dealing with that. We're dealing, and then now the neck. So we're sitting,
Yeah.
we're doing all this. We're holding the
Yes.
microphone in our hands.
Yes.
We now have
Yes.
carpal tunnel syndrome. And you know how, and
Yes.
I know you'll tell me I'm doing this wrong. You know how we like to go this and roll our neck? You would probably say, is that a yes or no? And like how we love to roll our necks?
Now, actually, I'm not necessarily opposed to that because, again, it's movement and
Right,
it's a good stretch. Why does your neck feel tight though? Why do
right.
you feel the need to stretch?
Yeah.
That's what we have to talk about. And it's because we end up like this, right? We're looking at our
Yes.
computer. There's a lot of compression happening there. And that is the issue. So remember how I talked about the towel and how much I love having
Mhm,
a
mhm.
towel? So a couple things. If you're the type of person where you're at your computer and you're noticing that you're getting like stiff in the neck and it's like painful to look down,
Hmm.
you take your towel and you pull it like this. Okay. So you're just wrapping it here,
Okay.
pulling like this. Okay.
I'll pretend
I
it's
should,
my
you know
towel.
what? I'm going to use, sorry, I have a little, I'm going to use my little J cloth just to show you.
We were so prepared for tonight.
I should have had a towel. That's all right. This works too. So
Okay.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it just at the base of
Right.
my skull and push
Right.
and pull my hands forward.
Right.
Okay. And then from here, I'm just tucking my chin down. Okay.
Right.
So I'm actually stretching those muscles right at the
Right.
base of the skull. And
Okay.
those are the ones that get tight when we're like this.
Okay.
Right. So we're stretching here. So that's a good one to do. Pull forward, look down. Now, some people will find when they look up, they have pain, right? Because everything back here is tight. So you do the opposite. You're going to take the towel that you have, pull forward, okay, and slowly just lift your chin up and then
Right.
back down. Okay, so this is really good to do again if you have pain looking up. And what
Right.
the towel does is it kind of creates like an opening in the spine. So you're stretching the muscles, but you're also opening up the joints of the spine, which is going to
Okay.
help alleviate some of the tension
Right.
and stiffness.
Okay, that is
Those are two of
really
my
good.
favorites.
I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So, you were talking about being our own health champions. How do we go about
Yeah.
doing that? How do we go
Oh,
about doing?
that's such a great question. And the thing about being a chiropractor or being a health practitioner is a lot of times people come to you and expect you just to magically fix all their pain, get rid of their pain so they never have pain ever again. And that's never going to happen. At
Right.
some point in your life, you're going to have discomfort. But my goal, I always tell patients, it's like, we're a team, okay? I'm going to be your guide. So I'm going to show you ways that you can kind of help alleviate some of the pain. But a lot of what I show you is going to be activities
Right.
or lifestyle changes, right? And I think it's important for patients to understand that you're a team. It's not me fixing you. It's
Mm,
us working together to fix the issue.
right.
And I think there's something so amazing about when a patient comes to me, let's say with back pain,
Hmm.
and we get them feeling better. And then maybe a year later, the pain comes back, but they remember the stretches that we talked about. They
Right.
remember I talked about putting a towel or something behind their back,
Right.
and they do it and the pain goes away. And they don't even need to come in and see me because they fixed it. I think there's something powerful in that.
Yes.
And that's what I want all my patients, everyone I work with, that's what I want them, that's what I want for them.
Right.
It's not about coming to see me once a week for the rest of your life. If
Right.
that's the
Right.
case, then I'm really bad at my job.
Yeah.
My job is to give you the tools so you can recognize when there's an injury and realize what you need to do, what modifications that you might need to do in order to fix that. And I think it's important for people to feel in charge of their own bodies.
And that leads me to think about, when is it that we should come and see a chiropractor?
So, a general rule of thumb I always tell people is if you have pain that lasts more than 24 hours, you should get it checked out. Or if, let's say, it doesn't last for more than 24 hours, but it reoccurs weekly, monthly, then you want to get that checked out. But if you have a little, ache in your shoulder because you were carrying a heavy bag and then it goes away in the next day, not necessarily a big deal. But anything that lasts longer than 24 hours, I would highly recommend getting it assessed, or anything that's reoccurring, do get it assessed.
So now, when it comes to like the poor posture thing, because you always talk about
Yeah.
poor posture, and it's funny
Mhm.
when you were explaining it at the Wellness Revolution, what people would think is poor posture is different than what you described. It was so interesting. So talk to us about our posture and how do we make our posture right?
I think some people think that, like, having good
Like me trying to
posture
go
is
like
just
this.
right. It's just like sitting up straight.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I've got good posture. I'm great. That's a small part of
Right.
posture. Being able to sit up straight, but you have limited range of motion in your neck,
Yeah.
that's bad posture. Being able to sit up straight, but you can't go up and down stairs because it hurts your hips or your back, that's bad
Mhm.
posture, right?
Right.
So it's really important to understand what the body and what posture involves. It involves the whole body. Really,
Hmm.
it does.
Right.
And so that's what I'm often trying to teach patients, because people will come in and say, oh, I've got the worst posture in the world. And I'm thinking, that's only part of the issue, is that
Right.
your shoulders are forward. There's so many other things to consider when you're talking about poor posture. So poor posture is a lack of range of
Mhm.
motion. Poor posture is stiffness and pain. Poor posture is, what's another word for numbness, tingling, like all
Right.
those things mean that you have poor posture somewhere. So
Mm,
posture doesn't just involve, your neck being tall and your back being straight. It's a very small component. So it's really important for people to know that, having a strong core, that's part of good posture. Having
mm.
being able to bend forward and reach the ground, that's a sign of good
Right.
posture. So it really does entail a lot of different things.
So you mentioned a keyword, and I think Mahindi had mentioned it earlier, the core. Can you talk
Yeah,
about a
yeah.
strong core? Like, what do you mean, and how do we get that?
Yes. So a lot of people will think, having a six pack means that you have a strong core. Okay, I don't know a lot of people that have six packs, but I will say this: a strong core this is your core. Your midsection is your core. Okay, but it's not your six pack muscle. It's underneath your six pack muscle. Okay, if we have a few minutes, I'm going to do a
Oh,
drill with you
we
guys.
do.
Okay.
I tell you, I'm just steering the ship
Okay.
here.
Okay, let's do a little drill. So your hip bones, we've got these bones in the front of the hips down here, right?
Right.
Right below the belly, or on the sides of the belly button. Okay. So find your hip bones. Take 2 fingers, put them on your hip bones. Then what I want you to do is you're going to move inwards about 2 inches. Okay. And then once you're there, I want you to push deep. Okay. Now, once you're pushing, okay, so we're 2 inches in from the hip bones, just cough. You should feel a muscle pop into your hand, okay? So push deep so you can feel it, cough, and a little muscle should pop into your hand. That is a very important muscle for the core, and it's actually underneath your 6-pack muscle. So it is deep. So working your core involves working that deep muscle. Wow. That's one part to keep in mind, okay? The other thing to keep in mind is your core is a cylinder. Okay, it involves muscles here, muscles in the side, and then muscles in your back. So when you're training your core, you have to train all the way around. It's not just, doing a sit-up or doing a plank. Those are great, but it involves other things. You have to do exercises for the muscles in your back. So core really is a huge component to any movement, because your core is what originates movement, okay? Whether I'm reaching in the cabinet for a glass or bending down to put on my shoe, my core is what starts the movement, and then my hands, my legs, my feet, they kind of finesse the movement. So if you do not have a strong core, it's very possible that you bent over one day to put on a sock and you hurt your back, or you were reaching for something in a cabinet and hurt your neck and shoulder. Those are indications that you have a weak core, and you may have a 6-pack. This is still happening, okay? So don't look at someone or don't think, hey, I've got a 6-pack or I need a 6-pack to have a strong core. No. It is much deeper than that. So, and that's a huge, we'll talk about this later, but I do this posture course and we spend an entire evening just talking about the core and how to actually train the core, because it is so important in everything that we do. Everything. But one of the main reasons why it's tied into low back pain is because your core is what stabilizes your spine. Okay. So when your core is on, your spine, which sometimes, if our spine is kind of stacked on top of each other, right? Your core, when it's strong, it just kind of helps everything stay aligned. Sometimes when muscles get tight, your spine kind of drifts a little bit and moves a little bit. The core holds everything in place, but also makes sure that there's space so that we can move freely. Okay. So that is why your core is so important, because it really does stabilize the spine.
Where have you been all my life? When I got diagnosed with scoliosis, where the heck were you? Why weren't you living in Trinidad? I'm just saying.
Oh, that would have been nice.
That would have been real nice.
That would have been real nice.
Because I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about people getting older. I'm also thinking about our seniors. Yeah. Because seniors are getting joint pain, they're getting hip pain. What is some advice that we can have for seniors as their bones? Because is it dense? Yeah. What is it? Is it density and
density is issue, and also degeneration is an issue. So bone density is the thickness of the bone, and activity is important. Vitamin D is important. Calcium is important. All those things are important. But the one thing I have to say, and I always have to talk to patients about this, is when people come in and say, oh, well, I'm 60, so things are supposed to hurt. Or I'm 70, so yeah, things are supposed to hurt. Who said that? Who said that?
That's that we're going to debunk today. Okay.
Yeah, that's not the case at all. Yes, as we get older, naturally things do wear and tear, for sure. What does that mean? It means it's more important to stay active. Yes, you may have to modify your activity, but you still have to stay active, and you have to make sure that you're providing the nutrients for your body to do what it needs. So, eating well is just as important, and getting enough sleep. All those things are important to everybody at every age, but especially as we age, we want to
Right.
support the body, right? So all those things are important. So for seniors, maybe you were an avid runner, but yeah, with wear and tear, running is not as comfortable. So maybe you switch to walking, or
Mm.
maybe you look at biking, because cycling is a lot less impact on the joints, or swimming, right? So it's not that you have to stop activity. You should never stop activity. You just might have to modify things.
Right.
But also, too, you don't want to wait until you're a certain age to start looking at these things. We should start right now preparing our bodies, because wear and tear is inevitable.
Right.
But we want to start preparing so that we can continue to live a happy and healthy life, because it's doable at any
Right.
age. It really is.
And I love that. And so when I'm thinking about the walking, and I'm thinking about, you know, one of the things I remember you saying,
Mhm.
and it's funny, I've been doing it in the house because I remember having a painful experience about 2 years ago, plantar fasciitis. And oh my
Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
Mm-hmm.
we should touch on that. But it
Yes.
reminded me that I need to wear shoes in the house, because we're so many of us are working from home or in the house. We're not outside
Yeah.
wearing the regular shoes, or, going out there with the sneakers. What's so important about, what should we be wearing at home now that we're at
Mhm.
home, and thinking that we should be walking bare feet all the time? What is that doing to our bodies?
Right. So we're, again, thousands of years ago, we had stronger feet because we didn't have shoes. So, we're walking on
Yeah.
uneven
Yeah.
surfaces. Our muscles in the feet are getting stronger. And that's why there's a lot of talk about, oh, we should go back to bare feet, but we can't
You can't.
because
No.
it's impossible. Who's going to walk to work in bare feet? Nobody. So wearing shoes, what that's done is it's kind of created the small or intrinsic muscles in our feet to
Right.
weaken.
Right.
And so now our body is dependent on support from footwear.
Mm.
So in the house, you want to make sure you have something that supports your arch. And as we get older, the arch in our foot does drop. So you need
Right.
footwear to help lift it up. I talked earlier about kind of, when we're sitting, we should look at sitting to standing.
Yes.
When you are, doing that, you should have footwear. Okay, it's important. So you're looking for something that has arch support. The other thing you're looking for, especially if you have a history of plantar fasciitis, is cushioning in the heel. Okay.
Oh.
Yes. So there are sandals, there are running, there's all types of shoes that you can wear that will offer that. So two things: arch support and cushioning in the heel. What you should not wear: flip-flops. I swear I've got Birkenstocks over there. I do. But I didn't
got
have
my
time to grab them.
Birkenstocks on. I'm doing better than you.
Okay, I know.
I'm
I
doing
didn't have
better
time to
than
grab
you.
them.
Hilarious.
But yeah, no flip-flops.
No flip-flops. So there
No
she is with the
flip-flops. I know.
flip-flops.
I know.
I know this. We have to decide about being cute and being healthy. And you know what? It's almost like I think we need to just do a whole show. We're gonna do a show dedicated to what we wear on our feet for men. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yes.
We're gonna do a show on the
Yes.
feet,
Oh my
walking.
goodness.
Oh my God, picking the right sneaker, picking the right shoe, picking the
Yes.
right slipper, the
Yes.
orthopedics. Okay,
Yes.
we're gonna do
Because,
that,
oh
people.
my
That's
God,
a show.
it
That's
is.
the show.
It is.
Yeah.
And I can show you a technique that you can use that involves like water and a piece of paper to wet your foot so you can actually find out what your foot type is. So yes, I'm ready.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. We may have to even pre-tape some of that and do some videos and drop the video.
Yes.
Okay. No, we're gonna yes.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
And you know what other show we're gonna do, because I'm getting that question in the chat, is here comes Serena again. She's bringing it. We need a show about the right pillows, mattresses, and sleep positions are the best. Okay, so we're gonna touch on this gently just for you,
Yes.
Serena. So, because I think it depends on the sleeper you are. Well, you tell me.
That's
It
the
depends on
thing.
what type of sleep person
Yeah.
you are, and yeah.
This is a question I get almost on a daily basis. Like, what mattress should I get?
Wait,
And the
hold
truth,
on. She's like, no. She said no flip flop. No flip
no
flops.
flip flops, no
No
flip
flip.
flops, Rita. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm saying no to a lot of
And
things.
for men too, no flip
Same thing.
flops.
No flip
No
flops.
flip
No flip
flops. Okay.
flops. No.
Even though you think you're looking cute, no.
No.
Yeah. From the campground, if you're in the no flip flop. Forget it.
No flip flops.
Okay.
Flip
So
flops.
back to the sleepers and the pillows and the mattresses.
Yeah, it's a tough question to answer in a general sense
Hmm.
because it depends on the type of like the position you sleep in. If you're a side sleeper, back sleeper, stomach sleeper, which isn't the greatest, that will dictate what type of pillow you need. And in general, mattresses are all about what's comfortable for your body.
Right.
Majority of us are going to respond better to like a firmer type mattress because you
Right.
can do soft, medium, firm, extra firm. It depends on the brand, but we tend to prefer a firmer mattress just because
Right.
it does offer better support to the spine.
Right.
Somebody maybe who has like rheumatoid arthritis where they have a lot of swelling in the body or really bad arthritis, they may want something a little softer. So it does kind of depend, but ideally a couple things. If you are a side sleeper, let's just talk about pillows and getting comfortable. If you're a side sleeper, you want to have a pillow, obviously, that supports the head and
Hmm.
neck. So the pillow is long enough to support the neck. And you can put a thin pillow between the knees that will help to support your pelvis.
Right.
If you are a back sleeper, again, you want to make sure you have a pillow that comes right down to the top of the shoulders. And then you want to have a medium height pillow that goes underneath the knees, okay? Because that will help to support the spine. If you are a stomach sleeper, which again, I do not
Very
recommend,
new. Yeah.
your pillow, the pillow that you sleep on is going to be fairly thin. And then the other thing you should do is take a towel or again, a very thin pillow. And if you're sleeping on your stomach and your head is turned to one side, take that other pillow or towel, place it underneath the shoulder of the side that you're looking to. Okay. That's just going to help prevent a lot of like
Right.
rotation in the neck.
Right.
So you can place one just under here. So those are just some general tips. But again, it's a very individualized type of process in picking, especially a mattress.
So we're gonna have Dr. Nekessa back, and we're gonna do a show about the back. We're going to do one about the feet and walking. And
Yes.
now we're going to have
Yes.
about the pillows, the sleeping. We need a sponsor for this segment of the show.
Yes.
Saying, if you're watching live and on the replay, we are going to be doing some segments just for better everything that makes, and you
Yeah.
know what? We're gonna sleep better. We're gonna walk
Yes.
better. We're gonna
Yes.
feel better. We're gonna move better. We're gonna even do some
Absolutely.
music with all of this.
Yes.
You know, you see, and you see, we're gonna talk about sleeping. I'm serious. We're doing a series. I don't know. You better make some
Oh.
time, girl. You, me, and this baby, this 19-month-old, we're gonna do a series. The side sleeper
Yes.
with sciatica. See
Sciatica.
how Serena? There's so much because when we start talking about the sleep and the
Yes.
pain and the rheumatoid arthritis, and
It's,
there's things that I know that you can tell us that we can always get as we're doing lives, as we look at your show, as you go on
mm-hmm.
the TV, and there
Yeah.
are times that we have to come to the office.
Yeah.
So your office is a multidisciplinary clinic.
Yes.
What
Yes.
the heck are you doing there that you're
So
multidisciplinary?
so the reason why I created the Chiropractic Office and Health Associates is I wanted a clinic where you come in and you can have all aspects of your health managed.
Okay.
So, I focus a lot on joints and muscles and nerves. I have a physiotherapist who does a lot more active rehab, pre and post surgical stuff. She's really great at that. We do acupuncture, which helps an array of issues. And then I also have a massage therapist who is great for overall relaxation. I have an osteopath who is really good dealing with chronic conditions, digestive issues, respiratory issues. He works on that. And then we also have a holistic nutritionist who helps with weight loss and other types of things, making sure our body's getting the right nutrients. And then we recently, well, actually, she's been with us for a year. We now have a psychotherapist because that connection between the mind and the body is so important that we need all of that addressed in order to make people feel better.
So I
So
have this
that is,
dream.
yes.
I have a dream now. Okay.
Yes.
How far is your house from the clinic?
My house
Yes.
is 10 minutes
Okay.
from my clinic.
I hope you have, I think you need you should probably have like a bed and breakfast, or like one of those, what do they call that thing now where you rent those apartments?
Like Airbnb.
Yeah, have an Airbnb, right?
Okay.
And have a retreat. Have a retreat Airbnb. So we're gonna get a piece of property
Yeah.
that we're gonna have as an Airbnb, and people
Yes.
can come for a retreat
I love
at
it.
the chiropractic office and health associates. And
I
so
love
it's
it.
gonna be a whole system here. And it's
Yes.
gonna be COVID proof. I'm dreaming big
Yes.
now for you, Dr. Remy. Right? And we're going to get this whole thing because we're not driving back and forth. Because after we need
No.
the spa next door, afterwards we're going to have like the water.
Ooh.
No, I'm dreaming big here.
Yes.
We're blue sky
Yes.
thinking. And we
I
have
love
the
that.
spa after the massage. We do some water therapy. Yes,
Yes.
yes. We
Yes.
have the
Mm.
Dr. Nekessa shoe line, chiropractic line. I'm dreaming here because this is something like your clinic has everything that you need. The fact that you have a
Yeah.
nutritionist on staff,
Mm-hmm.
the fact
Mm-hmm.
that it's so holistic
Yeah.
that we need to talk more about this. And I don't think people realize how holistic your clinic is. And even though it may
Mm-hmm.
sound like I'm joking, I'm so serious. We're going to be talking more after this live because we need an investor because I'm
Yeah,
thinking
right?
big. We need a new investor because we have to mind our minds. We have, and
Yeah.
all this is helping with our
Yes.
holistic wellness. When I think about the kids, I think about,
Mm-hmm.
kids and sleep. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and and I don't know if you're doing it yet. I know Amanda, who has her catering business, she does cooking classes for kids. So virtual cooking
Mm-hmm.
classes for kids. Do you
Mm-hmm.
have anything like a virtual class for kids in terms of posture that if
I'm
not,
that is something that I should work on because, like I said, I'm seeing more kids in practice than I ever have in
so
my
imagine if you
entire
did a
career.
virtual class for kids and kids are
Yes.
seeing other kids and they do the little exercise. And, okay, we're working here.
Okay. That will
Magic
be
is
coming.
happening.
That
That
will
will,
be coming.
that will be coming soon to a computer
Yes.
near you.
Oh, it will. We're going to have them ready for September 2021 when they go back
Okay.
to school. We'll
So
do it before then. Yeah.
the August camp is coming.
Yes.
We're creating here. And see, Loris is like, I love Dr. Remy.
Oh,
See,
thank
Serena is
you.
ready for the Airbnb. I'm there packing my bags. Sponsors and investors are needed. This is
They
where
are.
you're having a conversation, and this is why I tell you, inspired conversations are so important and beneficial to
Mm-hmm.
all our lives because as you start talking to one person thinks of something else, and together you
Yes.
make this
Oh,
beautiful magic, you know. And
absolutely.
then imagine your baby, because as your baby's 19 months,
Mm-hmm.
doing little exercise. Oh, I'm just dreaming big here.
I
Okay, all
know.
right, all right,
But you're right. I mean, we need this. Like, we need a space that
yeah,
literally all aspects of your health are addressed because
and it's
that's the
never
only
addressed.
way,
Yeah,
right? That's the only way people are making 100% recovery versus 80 or 85,
yeah, yeah.
right? And that's what I was seeing prior to me opening this clinic. That's what I was seeing. I was treating people, and some were getting, right back
Mhm.
to, where they were before, but others, for some reason, we always hit a plateau. And that's when it got me thinking, you know what? It's not that I'm not able to help them. It's just I have a certain set of skills, but they need another set of skills. So I need to bring somebody on board who has the same passion that I have,
Yeah.
and make sure patients have access to that. So that's kind of how the chiropractic office and health associates came about. Is I wanted a space where, yes, we can all work together and get patients feeling better.
And it's genius. And the other thing that I would love for us to do. See, I keep saying
Mhm.
us. The other thing I'd love
Yes.
for us to do is a sports clinic for kids and parents, because I remember when my son was in football, you know,
Yes.
and this is a competitive thing. So when you think about football, wrestling, sorry, he did
Hmm.
everything. He just did, I don't even think
Hmm.
he did basketball. He probably did it as a fun thing, but it wasn't his sport.
Right.
So he was more into the combat. He liked wrestling and da 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 da. And you know,
Yeah.
it's about injuries. And when you talk about prevention and understanding the you know, if you had a concussion and when, you
Mhm.
know, a bone is broken, and remember when he had his accident, not knowing when he had a torn rotator cuff, what to do. And
Yes.
those are the things. I think that would be really great to educate
Hmm.
parents that when you have children in sports, these, because you talk about prevention, and so that
Yes, that's
how
so
do you
important.
prevent the injuries, and yes, they're
Hmm.
stretching, but this is why the importance of these things, and when they need to
Hmm.
come see you, because when your child is in a sport, and even as an adult, because the adults who are in professional sports, they got their team, they got their
Yes.
sports therapists and
Yes.
stuff like that. But you have to start knowing that as you're putting your children in sports, you have to take care of their bodies. And the importance of
Absolutely.
having your family doctor is only going to give you so much, but you need someone
Hmm.
like a Dr. Nekessa Remy, who's a chiropractor who specializes in this. And you're thinking
Hmm.
about the nerves. So I really, that really is hitting me.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the Better Posture program,
Hmm.
tell us a little bit about that. How can people sign up for this Better Posture program? How can
Right.
they get involved? You know, what can you do better? You know,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Well, just to go back a little bit, just to mention something about the kids and sports. One of the things that I do, and if anybody out there is a parent who has a kid on a team, this is a service that I offer. Is I usually go in preseason and we'll do what's called functional muscle testing. So I
mm,
run about 5 different tests, things like a squat, a certain kind of upper body movement pattern, and I look for restrictions. I look for kids telling me, oh, this is painful or this feels stiff. And based on the results of these tests, I can help determine whether or not they are prone to certain injuries and then give them things that they can do to prevent those injuries. Not all sports teams have it. I think they all should. But it is something that I have done in the past, and I think is really, really important, as you said, for young athletes. So that is definitely something that I love to do and would like to do more of, for sure. But yes, the Better Posture program is kind of my response to pandemic posture, which, like I
mhm.
said, oh my goodness, daily I'm seeing
Yes,
these
yeah,
people,
yeah.
and it got to the point where I was just got tired of like repeating myself. So I'm like, what can I do
Mm,
to get to people? And the other thing too is, you mentioned I do a lot of TV stuff, and so people are contacting me, on the other side of the city, saying, oh, can you help me with this, but I can't come to your clinic, what can I do? And I was like, oh, I hate to tell people I can't help them. So I was
yes,
like, how do I reach more people? How do I get people more engaged in their posture and overcoming pain and aches and things like that? And so that's how the Better Posture program came about. So it's 5 weeks, and it's live. So, and there's some exercise demos,
right.
but what it is we go literally from head to toe and talk about how to better your posture. So each week we talk a little bit about desk setup and how it affects certain regions. And then we go into activity mode. We're working, we're using towels or my
Right.
J-cloth, and we're doing things, exercises, we're doing movement patterns that are all geared towards
Mhm.
bettering your posture. And so at the end of the program, you'll know, okay, you know what? I've got neck pain. What are the exercises I need to do? Boom, you have your exercise kit. Or my shoulder was hurting me. What are the exercises I need to do? You just go to your exercise
Right,
kit. And so that's really the goal. Is I wanted patients to have access beyond my office about
right.
what they can do to manage the aches and pains associated with sitting. So at the end of 5 weeks, they have a library of exercises that they can refer to, and really, again, like I said before, take control of their health,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
They don't need to always come into the office. They can look at the exercises. They can remember what I mentioned about setting up their screen, their chair, whatever, go back and review it and implement it, and ultimately take control of their own health, be their own health advocate. Like, that is my goal, is to really empower people to take back their health.
I
I'm
love
just
it.
a guide. I'm just a guide. I don't fix everything forever. I'm just here to teach you how to fix it yourself.
as you do that, and as we as adults gets better, our children get better. And I think when we start placing these
Yes.
seeds and plant these seeds in children, they're going to get better. And I
Yes.
just remembered, I asked you a question and I didn't allow you to answer it. Or
Oh,
we were just talking so much and we forgot. The two monitor things. I was thinking about
oh
Mahiti as a
yes,
teacher
yes,
and having two
yes,
screens. And we talked about this in the Wellness Revolution. How should you set up
yes.
those two screens?
So if you have two screens, like two monitors, you want to kind of put them at 45-degree angles and you're in the middle,
Right.
okay? Especially if you're going to be looking at both screens equally, that's what you should do, okay? So they're at 45 degrees, you're in the middle. If you have a laptop, but you're using a monitor, what you should do is have your laptop flat on the desk and have the monitor, if possible, raised, but right behind your laptop. So everything is directly in front of you. You're not here, then here, here, then here. You're here looking up. It's a lot easier on the eyes and the neck. So I hope that that helps. If you have three monitors, because there's a lot of people working out there with three monitors, what you should do is the monitor that you look at the most directly in front of you,
Right.
and then the other two on angles. Okay, so
Okay.
the one that you look most right here, and the other two on each side.
So I remember when you talked about the monitors, and then somebody asked a question about where should your mouse be or your keyboard now because you have two
Yeah.
monitors, right?
So the computer you look at the most, align your keyboard and your mouse with that, okay? But in general, you want the keyboard as close to you as possible, right in front of the monitor, and your mouse, same thing, right close to you.
Okay.
You want to make sure that your mouse is located in a place where you can rest your arm on the armrest of your chair and not have to lift your arm. The arm stays rested, and you just have to move the mouse.
Okay, so that makes sense. So
Mm-hmm.
as we start winding down a little bit, I hope
Yes.
everybody's been live on the replay. If you've been enjoying this, Dr.
I know.
Nekessa Remy, and you can follow her. Now, just to go back a little bit about you, as we
Mm-hmm.
start thinking, now that you know all that you know, and you're still learning, and you're a mom, and you're
Mm-hmm.
doing all these things, what would you say to the 21-year-old Nekessa?
To the 21-year-old Nekessa, I would say follow your instincts because you know more than you think you know.
Ah,
And, quiet the outside voices, just really look within because the answers are there. They are there. They are so there. Just follow them and you'll be all right.
okay, I like that. Follow your instincts. So
Yes.
now, if we were
Yes.
to look ahead and look back at the same time, I know it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So, 20 years from now, you're
Yes.
looking back on your life.
Yes.
What do you think would matter most?
What would matter most to me is that I have a daughter who is a confident young woman who wants to make a change in the world. I mean, I really feel that that's important to raise kids who want to make a difference. And I don't mean she needs to,
Mhm.
become prime minister or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It
yeah.
could be doing like I love what I do. I'm helping people move better. I'm helping people run marathons or just get
Mm,
up out of a chair pain free, and that matters. That
right.
matters. So I would just want her to be chasing a dream that really matters to her and that will make a difference. And then I hope from a professional point of view that I am in a space where I'm still able to help people and to educate people. Like I don't want to give that up. I might not
Yeah,
be able to do all the manual treatment because I
yeah.
think one day my hands are going to
And
fall off.
say no more. No more.
No more, but I still want to have access to some platform where I can continue to educate people, especially keep people in our community and people who may not always have access to healthcare.
I love that. What would
Yeah.
you do? What would you say out of your self-care routines?
Mm-hmm.
What is a beautiful self-care routine that you can share with us that you use for yourself?
Okay. Well, to be honest, my most recent one is
Uh-huh.
sleep. My most recent one is sleep because only as of earlier this week or last week, my
Yeah.
daughter has started sleeping through the night.
Oh, poor pumpkin.
So, so my self-care routine is making sure that by 10:30 I'm in bed so that I'm getting 8 hours of sleep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I can't keep you on for another hour. Okay, fine.
Oh,
Okay, 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 I get it. I get it. So I'm gonna just throw some comments at you before
no. Yes.
I say the last question.
Okay.
So Serena is agreeing. Please create a class
Okay.
because my son thinks I'm nuts with the pillow and the box under his feet.
Done, Serena. It will be happening at
Yeah,
the end of the summer. Done.
and she says my son has been seeing my chiropractor since 2019 till now. It
Yes.
helps him so much between school and being an avid swimmer, and he's 9. That's so
Yes.
good. And
It's
Wendy's
so
gonna
good.
Yeah, Wendy, okay, we're going to do something for you about the sciatic back. So we're going to have
Oh
Dr.
no.
Remy back. Of course, Loris is on. Let's take back your health, says Loris. And she
Yes,
says,
Lord.
since the wellness revolution, the screen, several friends called to say how much they gained from your talk, especially the
Oh.
ones with working with 2 and 3 monitors. It's so big, Nekessa, because so many people are
Yes.
multitasking, and the
Yes.
advice that you've given tonight is priceless, is life changing. And this is why I know, between what we get some of what you do on Instagram. So I would say to people,
Yes.
tune in to what you do on Instagram because you get so many nuggets on Instagram. Then you
I
give
try.
so many nuggets on the TV. And now you're doing
Yes.
these things. And now she has a daughter. So send her some love. Send her some flowers. You can send her flowers in the chat, but send her some flowers. But send her some flowers in the form of, like,
Oh,
some fruit. You can pay her when you go to see her.
oh,
But
yeah.
send her a gift basket for the baby. I'm just saying. If you want to know
Aw.
how to reach her, I'm just saying. Just saying. Joan says, "How can I thank you for this session?" Joan, Joan, this 76-year-old learned a lot that I will add to my approach to my body outside of my exercise program I'm in.
Yes.
See, this is what
Yes.
makes us feel good that we
Yes.
actually took the time to do this show tonight, you know.
Uh,
And even, when you have people looking out for you, because at one point I realized I was sitting low, but I couldn't figure out what was wrong. Joan says, "You're sitting low in the chair." She sends me a text, "You're low."
oh my gosh, I love Joan. I love Joan so much. Joan came into my life at a very special time. And I love that woman. I love her.
Joan Pierre,
But
we
like you said,
love you,
76. And if you look at Joan, if you see Joan,
girl,
you know what I mean? This is what I'm talking
girl.
about. 76 and healthy,
Yes,
happy, beautiful. Yes, you can do it.
yes. We're gonna have a coconut ice cream line when we finish this, when we come out of pandemic. Okay, Joan? Nekessa has we're gonna bring the baby and we're gonna have
Yeah.
the coconut ice cream lime in the backyard. Okay. You see how we roll. This is a joy juice flowing here. And this is what we mean about, getting back to wellness. So what's next for you?
Mhm.
What's next for you?
What is next? Well, the online session, I have a summer one starting, so I'm just preparing for that. And the one thing that I'm thinking of doing is opening up another clinic next year.
Wow.
So yeah, I wanna get
In
to
the
the
East
east
End.
side. Yes,
Thank
yes,
you very much.
yes.
Thank you very much. Because otherwise you're gonna
So
have to book me a room at that
I know
Airbnb.
I gotta get the Airbnb going.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something that I've started to kind of look at, and then yeah, just keep my daughter happy and healthy.
Well, look here. Joan Pierre says, "Yes, the ice cream is on. Tell me your flavor." Okay, we're on now.
Yes, yes,
And if
yes.
you have a really big backyard, anybody who's live and on the replay, and you have a really big backyard, and you want to be in on the ice cream party, you're just gonna have to let us know. Slip a note in our DMs, and we'll think about you. If you're an investor in what we've been talking about, slip us a DM, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
think about you because we want to do some more series. We're gonna do a series on this
Yeah.
because this is going to help change people's lives, and
Mm-hmm.
we need to put our health first now
Yes.
before it's too late. So Nekessa,
Exactly.
thank you
Exactly.
so much for coming
Thank
into the
you.
ministry
Thank
chair.
you.
And be sure to follow Nekessa. At her practice, follow her on Instagram and Twitter at Dr. Nekessa Remy, the chiropractic office.ca, and on Facebook, follow her. But what is Serena? Serena's like, I need to add Canada for our 2022 travel to see all of you and visit the practice. Yes, you do,
Yes.
Serena.
Yes, Serena. I would love to meet you.
Yeah, yeah, yes, you do, Serena. And so, thank you everyone for tuning into the show tonight. I really loved having you all. Thank you in entering to this space that we prepared for you. And as we get ready to leave this space, I want to leave you with a few tools. I encourage you to stay in a victory mindset for your health, that you know and believe that you will be victorious in your wellness. It's time for that wellness revolution, you know. You have to perceive it. You have to determine that if you want to walk in that victory moment in your life, bloom where you're planted.
Mm.
And when you get through the season that you're in, know that you'll experience a new season of spring. Spring comes every year, so there's always an opportunity for new things, new horizons. I would say carpe diem, seize the day, speak victory over your life. Even if you cannot fully see it right now, visualize it. Visualize what you want your wellness to look like, what you want your body, your mind, and soul to be like. See it, taste it, envision it. You really have to envision it and speak the affirmations over your life daily. You know,
Right.
we're going to come back strong in the spring of our lives. Even after this pandemic, we are going to prosper in our bodies. We are, as we all do it together. We find the people that are going to sharpen us, you know. Be intentional in your actions. Cultivate that vision that you have for your wellness so that you can grow in it and know that you will be transformed. And remember to celebrate yourself. Give yourself an ovation and you will be restored. And guess what? It only happens when you yield to the process. And that's victory. Vision, intention, cultivate, transform, oration, restoration, and yielding. Victory is your portion. You, me, we are in the revolution of minding our minds and enhancing our mindset to continue living this victorious lifestyle. Now, coming up on Thursday, you can catch me on, uh, where am I going to be? I am going to be in Clubhouse with the Black content creators at 12:15. So if you're a Black content creator or you want to know about some content creators in Canada, come on to Clubhouse at 12:15. I'm going to be there with Shirley Joseph and a few other Black Canadian content creators. And on Friday at 7 p.m., Love More and myself will be on the Speak Up and Empower platform where we're going to talk about love. We talk about all types of love. Last week was self love. You got to tune in. And on Saturday, May 29th at 2 p.m., sign up for the Wellness Revolution. This is session 3.
Yeah.
Last session, session 2 on 8 in April. That's where Dr. Nekessa Remy, and you saw some of the people who attended that session. They enjoyed it, and it's free. Free. Did I say it's free? Yes. And we're talking about financial wellness. So I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. I am Nicole Waldron, your mental fitness coach and your voice of victory. And I invite you to follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube at Victory Speaks 7. And you can watch this show again, share it with your friends from our YouTube page, even from the Facebook page, which is Victory Speaks 77. You can also tune into the Victory Speaks audio podcast on Spotify, Apple, and anywhere you can find a podcast. We are there. And on Clubhouse, it's Victory Speaks. Remember, love is in the details. Be detailed in your love today. Every day, seek to have an inspired conversation with someone you know, someone you love, someone you met today, or someone you've met along the way. Your conversations can be inspired by your truth, your love, your story, even with a smile. And may you see the victory moments in your day and in your week ahead. This is Nicole and Nekessa saying, good night, folks. Thank you for tuning in. And we'll
Thank
see
you.
you next time. See us next week, Monday. And you'll stay tuned and you'll find out who my guests will be. God bless you. Take care.